Hi, I'm Stuart from the Norfolk Honey Company and welcome back to another of our queen rearing series of videos for 2017. Today we're back queen rearing in our mating apiary, and today we're going to show you a method using something called a cell punch. And this is a method that uses a specific type of equipment that allows you to punch out single cells without actually touching them, and then place that into the hive without having to manipulate or to graft or to cut out any cells, because the cell punch itself does the work for you. And I'm very grateful to BBWear, who have supplied us with the equipment necessary to try out this particular method. It's something that I've not done before, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how it all works out. Today we've set out a cell builder colony, and you will maybe have seen that in one of the previous videos. And what we've got today is a frame that allows us to use brass tubes in order to take out a individual cell and to place it into our cell builder colony. So what we've got here is this external frame is a commercial brood frame that fits into our cell builder colony, but the actual equipment that we've been supplied is this inner super frame, and on it you can see we've got 10 of these little pieces of brass which pop out from these clips, and each one consists of a piece of dowel that fits through into a brass tube, and we'll get a close-up of this for you. And the method that we use is that we actually take this brass tube and push it into the cell structure, twist it through, and then we actually remove the cell, and the cell will then have its larvae in the base, and we've got a piece of plastic tubing around the bottom here to help build up the cell wall structure. That then all fits together and pushes into the clip like so, and we do that with all 10 of the tubes, and then that sits down into the cell builder, and hopefully the bees will then build queen cells from each of these tubes. So let's take it across to the apiary and we'll get a frame of eggs and young larvae out, and we'll give you a demonstration of exactly how this works. So this is the frame that we've selected for the donor frame. So this is where we're going to select the very young larvae from. So what we'll do next is just select some cells, and we'll see if we can zoom in onto a cell or two and show you the larvae in the bottom of the cell, and then we'll show you how the cell punch system works. So this is the frame that we've selected, and ideally you want to find the youngest larvae that you can in the cells that you've selected. So we've taken a picture here of some of the youngest larvae. Some of this is going to be too old, but there are some larvae towards the outer edge of the frames that are literally hours old, and those are the ones that we're going to select. So the next step is to get the cell punch frame and the cell punches and we'll show you how we take a cell from the frame by using the cell punch tools themselves. So I've selected a cell that has a very, very young larvae in it, and this end of the brass tube has been given a sharp edge, so it will cut through the wax. So what I'm going to do is to place the brass tube over the cell and then gradually twist and push downwards until I've taken the tube all the way down and through to the other side and cut through. Okay, so I'll just twist this round so that you can see inside the brass tube. And so what you can see here is the brass tube has been pushed through the wax, and you can see the cell which is intact inside the brass tube, and that's going to form the basis of the queen cell. So now what we have to do is to just remove this brass tube, and that will bring the cell out as well. Okay, so the twisting action allows you to then gently pull the cell out. We've left a hole, but we've got the cell intact in the brass tube. We then take the dowel and use that to push the cell gently through the brass, and it then delivers the cell to the outside of the brass tube. So that's the cell pushed all the way through, and the dowel is now pushed into the brass tube as far as it will go, and we can now put this back into the frame using the clips that are on the frame. So that's our first prospective queen cell taken from the frame, and we've not had to dig around to take the larvae out of the cell. We've literally cut a hole through, and it's now clipped in place. So we're going to continue to do the remaining 9 of the cell punches, and then we'll catch up once we've got them all fully prepared and ready to go into the cell builder. Okay, so we've now completed our frame. This is our completed frame with the 10 cells hanging down. Looks fantastic. It was really simple to do. Just hope that this is now going to get taken really well and we can get some fantastic queen cells from it. So one other thing is that if you do wear glasses, or you do need glasses, don't be afraid to use them. I need glasses and have mine inside my hood, so I've been using my glasses so that I can see the very young larvae, because that's what you want. So we're going to open them up now. We'll have a look at the front and just show you how many bees there are for our cell builder, and then we'll get this frame inside the brood box. So here's our cell builder. You can see the bees that are on the colony here. Lots and lots of bees. We'll get the top off now, we'll get the roof off and have a look at how many bees there are inside. Okay, so let's see how many bees we've got inside the colony now. Lots and lots of bees, which will be fantastic for raising these queens. So all we're going to do is just place this down into the middle, the gap that we left for them, and there's lots of bees in there, so I'm just jiggling it down so the bees can climb around and over the top of it, and that's settled in nicely now. So now we can close them up. Just tighten everything down. And we're going to leave those until next weekend, and then we'll come back and take another look. So we're back at the cell builder, and we're just going to take a quick look at the cell punch method frame that we had earlier. I did check it a couple of days ago and the news isn't great, so I think this might be one of those videos where we actually fail to produce, but we'll have a look anyway and then we'll try and work out what's happened. So let's open up the hive. So we've got plenty of bees in the hive here, so we should have seen lots of queen cells being produced from the cell punch method. But let's just take it out. As I say, I did check a couple of days ago and I wasn't very hopeful then, but let's just see where we're at. So unfortunately it looks as if every single one of them has failed, and I'm not too sure why. The cells that we selected looked pretty good and everything seemed to go really well, but let's have a look in the colony and see what we've got inside. So on this frame, which was the frame of brood that we placed beside the cell punch frame, we've actually got quite a few queen cells. So they are obviously queenless and have produced queen cells, but the cells that I gave them weren't good enough for them for whatever reason. So it's not a complete loss. The frames that we gave them come from the daughter of our egg donor queen, so we've actually got some queen cells from the same line that we had. So we're going to use these, and we can cut these out and put them into nukes and queen mating nukes as well, and we'll perhaps produce another video to show you that. Okay, so it looks as if that first attempt with the cell punch method has been a complete disaster. The only thing I can put it down to is that the equipment is brand new, and I don't really know exactly why the bees didn't accept the cells. I'm going to do some more research and see what we can learn and have another go and see if we can produce some queen cells from this cell punch method. As you've seen in the earlier part of the video, it's a really simple process, so I really want to make it work because it's a process that I'll use and a method that I'll use in the future, because it is so simple and I don't need to produce hundreds and hundreds of queen cells. If you've got any questions about the cell punch method, then please do give Steve a call at BBWear, and I'll put their contact details down in the description below, because I know that he's used the method very successfully this season, and I'm sure that I would consider him the expert, and obviously having looked at my results, I'm very much a novice. So yeah, if you have any questions, then give Steve a call and speak to the guys at BBWear. Also, I'll put a link to their website down in the description below so that you can link across to the actual page that they're selling the cell punch frame on, in case you wanted to give it a go this summer. If you've not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing. You'll see the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen there. And we've also got our social media platforms, but particularly our Facebook group, which is Stuart's Beekeeping Basics. Finally, I'd like to say thanks to everyone that's signed up to our Patreon page and is helping to support us in producing these videos. Again, I'll put a link down in the description below, and we'll catch up next time. Thanks for watching.